Hi, this is for Scorpio for August 2020. The first thing I did was use the Mist of Avalon and I drew the Chalice Well. And basically, what the Chalice Well is telling us is we need to look deep within and use our own intuition. Yes, we've had a lot of hurt in the past, Scorpio. But you've gotten wiser. And because of this wisdom, you're able to move through the emotional realm a lot easier in these times that we need your deep wisdom and intuition. Now, as far as astrologically, on the 1st, we have Mercury in Cancer in the 9th house, opposing Pluto in Capricorn in the 3rd house. And pretty much that's saying you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you know other people's strengths and weaknesses. And it's time for you to use what you know in a wise way and use that knowledge and communicate it with others and strip away the old way that you've communicated with others. Because you have to use your higher mind and the wisdom that you have. And on the 2nd, we have the Sun in Leo in your 10th house, opposing, not opposing, that's squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 7th house. And pretty much you're shining your light right now. You are very self-aware. And also, you know how creative you are, and you know the changes that you need to make in relationships that are fixed in the way things have always been. Because right now it's about you using your own self-empowerment, your own self-respect, and moving away from those relationships that always tried to tell you who you were and what you could be. You get to choose who you're going to be. Now, on the 3rd, you have to look at, we are having a full moon. And for you, that full moon falls in your 4th house, and it's in Aquarius. And you have to ask yourself during this full moon why you have detached from your family. And of course it's emotionally. Why are you detached from them? Is it because you choose to follow your own path and not be who they tell you that you should be? Is it because you realize your own worth and what you bring to this world, and you're no longer going to use those traditional conditionings of this world, that you're putting yourself out there to be more altruive to everybody else instead of being so self-absorbed, with the way that your family had brought you up. Now, on the 3rd, we have Mercury in Cancer in the 9th house, and that opposes Saturn in Capricorn in the 3rd house. And you're going to use your wisdom. You're going to use your higher mind to communicate what your intuition is telling you, that you need to put out there. And, you're doing it against what traditional structures are telling you the way that we're to communicate. You're communicating in a way that your intuition is telling you to follow, that you are now seeing in ninth house matters, that what matters, okay, that you're no longer going to follow the traditional structures. You're going to follow your own heart and where it guides you, because you have an internal guide that is guiding you where you need to go in your life. And no longer are you going to let others dictate where you should go. Now, on the 4th, we have Mercury in Leo in the 10th house. And you're going to be more playful because you're creating a life that brings you joy and that brings you into your power. Again, you're communicating things that bring you joy. That shows just how powerful you are. And that's by listening to your own self, by having that self-respect and listening to your intuition. Now, on the 4th, we have Venus in Cancer in the 9th house. And again, you're going to be showing your family how much you love them, but you're being wise and you're doing it in a way that shows your knowledge, and it is going to help you move forward with those that you love. Now, on the 13th, we have Mars in Aries in the 6th house, squaring Pluto in Capricorn in the 3rd house. And, you're no longer going to deal with other people that you work with that are aggressive and that are not healthy, because you're healthy and your mind is healthy and you're getting your body healthy. And you don't want to deal with people anymore that run on a lower vibration. You want to strip away all the lower vibrations that surround you and go into a positive way. And that also means by communicating your wisdom and stripping away the things that no longer work for you with the way that you communicate, because we have to be who we are. Now, on the 15th, we have Uranus retrograding in Taurus, and that is your 7th house. And you've went through a lot of changes over the past few months while Uranus was moving forward in your house of partnerships, while also open enemies. And you're dealing with things differently in your partnerships. You're dealing with things differently with enemies. Well, number one, your enemies are no longer consuming you. You have no time for them. But you are making changes within partnerships. Again, you've been dealing with a whole lot of changes in partnerships, whether it be partnerships that you work with, partnerships that are, like your children, or partnerships that are intimate to you. You are dealing with these partnerships and you're dealing with them in a way that's going to make changes in your life with your partnerships, but it's going to be in a good way. Now, on the 16th, we have Mercury in Leo in the 10th house, trining Mars in Aries in the 6th house. And, you're communicating in a style that, lets you shine. It's showing how creative you are in the work that you're doing. And, you're bringing that light out. And I mean, you have that intuition to know that you have that self-respect. And, you're using that in a way to take actions to overcome things in your workplace, because you definitely want a new beginning there. But you want it in a beginning that's going to be seen in a healthy way. Now, on the 18th, we have the sun conjunct the moon in Leo. Happy new moon. That is in your 10th house. And, again, it's about your own power and using that power creatively, and owning that power, whether it be with your children or in a creative field or, in your dating life. You're using it in a way to show people who you are and that power that resides within you, which always leads to self-respect. Then on the 19th, we have Virgo. We have Mercury in Virgo in the 11th house. And pretty much over why Mercury's in Virgo, you're going to be communicating in groups and within your friendships about your hopes, your wishes, and your desires that you hold close to you. And, you're going to be thinking about this and putting a plan together to release these things out into the world that you want to show them. And it's time, Scorpio. It's time for you to show people who you truly are and not what you were conditioned to be. Now, on the 22nd, we have the sun in Virgo in the 11th house also. Now your ego is going to be out there. You're going to be shining your light in these areas, in the groups that you belong to and the friendships that you have, and putting a plan into place to make that dream into a reality. And you're finally putting all of this into play, which is a good thing. Then on the 24th, we have Mars in Aries in your 6th house, and that is squaring Saturn in Capricorn in your 3rd house. And with Mars in your 6th house, you want those new beginnings in your work life, okay? You want things to turn, but people are, the old regime is not liking the way you're communicating. The old regime is not happy with your communications and the way that you're portraying things. Well, you've got to be true to yourself. You have to have that power on your own, and realize that the structures that truly love you are going to be there for you. You are no longer going to tolerate them communicating to you in a way that belittles you or makes you feel that you're not capable, because you are very capable and you have a lot of dreams that you want to accomplish, and you're not going to let people take your dreams away from you because they want something else. Now, on the 27th, we have got Venus in Cancer in your 9th house, trining Neptune in Pisces in your 5th house. And pretty much with Venus there in your 9th house, and that has to do with broadcasting, advertising, your higher mind, higher education, all of these things, and where you're putting your mind at these days and using your wisdom and your knowledge in a higher minded way. You know, with your philosophies, you're going to be overcoming the illusions that people have painted about the other people in your dating life or your children, or, you know, about your creativity. You are definitely going to overcome these illusions that others have, you know, painted you to be, by using your higher mind, by using your compassion. Then on the 29th, your Mercury is going to be in Virgo in your 11th house, trining Jupiter in Capricorn in your 3rd house. Great. That's all I can say, is because with this, you're going to be expanding on your friendships and the groups that you belong to. And you're going to be expanding what you put out into the world. And you're doing it because you're putting a plan together and implementing these things. You know, and you're doing it by communicating and expanding on how you communicate with others, and you're getting your dreams out there and your desires. So all I can say, Scorpio, if for you this month, use your intuition. Let it drive you forward. Claim your own power, and be true to who you are, because you have been on a journey, you know, with Pluto, Saturn, and Capricorn in your sector of communication. And you were definitely learning how to communicate in a new way that brings power back to you, instead of letting other people claim your power by them belittling you with the way they communicate to you. So have a great month, Scorpio. I love you. And again, use that intuition, and I'll see you in September. Bye-bye.